the sun, but don't go down. I want it all, I want it all. So long live the king, long live the empire. Yeah, I'll wear the crown till the world is burned down. I am king, this is my empire. I live for the sound as it moves through the crowd, saying King, King, King. Long live the kingdoms will fall to mine is the only one, written in stars like a sign of glory to come. Come. Oh, look what we've done, the wars that we won. We rise like the sun, but we won't go down. I want it all, I want it all. Long live the king, long live the empire. Yeah, I wear the crown till the world is burned down. I am king, this is my empire. I live for the sound as it moves through the crowd, saying king, king, king. Long live the king, king, king. Long live the. I know you've heard all the stories about me. Sometimes a legend is hard to believe. Yeah, I'll show you just how true they can be. Let's raise a glass to the king. Long live the king, long live the empire. Yeah, I wear the crown till the world is burned down. I am king, this is my empire. I live for the sound as it moves through the crowd, saying king, king, king. Long live the king, king, king. Long live the king.
No. Pretty Caroline, oh, 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 stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the dime. Oh, 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 serves this on her mind. To count your blessings, cause it's telling fair. Put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, it's the ugly truth. How they coming for you. Yeah, yeah, no. Don't you think you're better off where the neighbors don't stay? And baby, you're wanted. Looking good for the movie screens, living in make-believe, hoping your wishes get granted. I know you're never giving up unless it's real. A slippery slope, it's not enough to please you. Pretty Caroline, oh, 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 stone cold stunner. She was a winner, started working at the dime. Oh, 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 serves this on her mind. To count your blessings, cause it's telling fair. Put you down and leave you there, don't make them scared. Yeah, that's the ugly truth. How they coming for you. Yeah,
fire. Like the streaming with the fish in the ocean. Stay away, never come under fire. They will never ever show an emotion. I never dreamed of getting in the action. Life moves with all the surprises. I never dealt with chemical reactions. It comes down to this day. You're gonna be a tough act to follow, and you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. All the people wanna get in the circus, trying hard to keeping up with the Joneses. Everything is kind of trouble and purpose. And you're lying in a bed of roses. I never dreamed of getting in the action. Life moves with all the surprises. I never dealt with chemical reaction. It comes down to this, yeah. You're gonna be a tough act to follow, and you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. You're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. Oh, I feel I like the way I got up from the start. I was under pressure. I feel right away. It comes down to this, yeah. You're gonna be a tough act to follow, and you better believe it. Just take a bite and see that it's gonna be too much to swallow. You better believe it. Yeah, I got one more trick, but you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. To follow. Yeah, you're gonna be a tough act to follow. To follow. You're gonna be.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Happy Saturday. How you doing, Patrick?
Sneezing, but I'm all right.
Sneezing.
I'm all right.
it's
Yeah.
Lots of weather going around. Pollen's back in full swing.
Yeah.
The thing I love the most in the world
more.
is pollen and going outside and
Yeah. It's my
basking in the
favorite.
glory of nature.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
This guy is using sarcasm if people couldn't realize that. Yeah. It's been a week. It's been a week, man. It's lots of stuff going on.
So I know you got lots to say and all this, but there was a question, and I want to say this by Andy Parkinson, and he deleted it.
Oh.
I am. I got to say this because I don't delete it, Andy, because it's a really good question. It was about Azure Data Factory. I know this is Power BI, right? I know it is, but post that question back, man, because I got an answer for that question.
I got it.
So go ahead.
All right, I got it. I have it. My tool, even though you deleted, it's still there. So
yeah,
I got it.
It's all right. I know this is Power BI, but
right.
I know something besides Power BI.
Just a little bit. You do have DBA in your Twitter handle.
Oh, he's saving it for the member chat. Sorry, Andy. Didn't mean to call you out like that, buddy.
All right.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, my friend.
You're gonna get on Chatmaster C's bad side here. You gotta be careful.
So sorry. So sorry.
All right.
Look at go ahead. Man.
Oh, Chatmaster C's gonna get you. You're gonna get in a timeout, buddy. You gotta be careful.
I might.
It's gonna, it's just gonna go. Look, Patrick's in a timeout. He messed up. It's fine. All right.
Out of here.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Hope you had a great week. Glad you're here with us. Always a good time on the live stream on Saturday morning. If you are new to GynaCube or the live stream, GynaCube in general, put hashtag new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces. Always great to see the community growing and new folks discovering Power BI. Also, shout out to the members of GynaCube. You help us do what we do here on GynaCube. So if you see folks with the green name or the GynaCube logo next to their name, those are members of GynaCube, and they support us going above and beyond. So thank you for that. It's very much appreciated. If you want to learn more about being a member, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below to learn more. No commitment required. Just thank you for checking it out. And then members, hold your questions until the second half. We will have a members only stream, or not members only stream, members only chat, where Chatmaster C will give you the green light to get your questions in, as Patrick just learned. So, you know, everybody's learning something new today, Patrick included.
Especially Patrick.
Yes.
Especially Patrick.
Michael, been a member for 6 months. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. And we got a question from Michael coming up on the member only question section. All right, let's see, who are the new folks here? Travis is new, D is new, Keith Smith is new, haven't been here for a while. All right, Anthony is new, Vamsi is new, MJ's new, Saad is new, Jonas is new. Look at all these news. Wow, look at them all. William says new to the live stream. Jewel is new. Heinz is new. Wow, look at all of them. Did I miss one before
Nice.
that?
Nice.
I think I got them all. Yes.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool.
All right.
So Adam, did you hear that? Did you see on Twitter that Elon Musk is buying GynaCube?
Someone did that. I thought that was fun. I had to reread that though, because I first saw that. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, that
I
makes
can't wait
no
to get
sense.
the check. I can't wait to get the check. I can't wait to get the check, man.
No sense. Yes. And then Ankit, thank you for being new to the channel in Power BI. Welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoy the journey into that which is called Power BI. Amazing. All right, questions. If you have a question for the stream, put Q colon in front of it. Chatmaster C is standing by to get them into the queue. All you need to do is one time, put it in there. Don't spam the question. If you do spam the question, we have a 3 strikes rule here on GynaCube, and you will get put into a timeout by either Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators. The moderators are the folks with the kind of bluish name with the wrench next to them. So they will put you in that timeout, except for Patrick. Patrick never does. So you're safe with Patrick. But look at that. Patrick's breaking the rules anyway, so it doesn't matter. We don't get to every question in the stream, so apologies if we don't get to your question. We do our best to get through them. If we don't get to it, come back next time, and we'll try again. Also, just if you have that burning question, super chats always take priority at any point during the stream. Just remember, if you do a super chat, type the question in before you do it. Pro tip. What are you laughing at, Patrick?
Crystal says a good thing. She likes me. Thank you. I like you too, Crystal.
Yes.
I like you too.
You're not on our bad side yet. You keep bucking the rules, and that'll get you there quickly.
Done. You don't have to worry about that, my friend. You don't have to worry about that.
Keep you in check, man. Yeah, she just laughed.
You don't have to worry about that.
All right.
Don't worry about that.
All right. Are you ready, Patrick? Are you ready to get into the queue?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Evan coming in with the first question. How would you guys compare Splunk's log searching versus Azure Synapse log searching feature? From a first comparison, Azure seems very geared towards data engines and scientists and not user friendly. So before, I know Patrick's got some thoughts. But before we do that, so just for everyone in the stream, so we did start launching like a Data Tuesday video series. And so we're doing Synapse videos there. We're doing and other things data related, and then trying to tie that into the Power BI journey. So I think that's why this question is coming up. It's not a Power BI question, and some people are going like, wait, what? Why this in Power BI. So just be aware of that. Like we may bring some of those in. All right. So if you're not familiar, Splunk is like a third-party like log searching tool, and those are things that can be used. I know a lot of companies use that tool for analytics and logging, telemetry, that kind of thing. I'm personally not familiar with Splunk. I've heard of it. I've never seen it. I've never used it. I want to say, I'm making an assumption here, but I want to say that it is similar to like Azure Data Explorer / Kusto.
Yes.
And Chris Jones just said the same thing. So, and I know from Azure Synapse Analytics and other Azure services, it uses log analytics for that. So, which is Kusto queries and things of that nature. So, Patrick, what are your thoughts?
The last part of the statement geared towards, and I'm taking the journey. I'm taking the Synapse journey right now. And I won't say it's more geared towards, it's just like Power BI. You got to learn the clicks. We said this in the video. There's just a lot of clicks you got to learn. I'm learning that it's pretty simple. Maybe because I have a long SQL background and a long database background, but it's really just about learning the clicks. Like I set this stuff up in 15 minutes and I'm building data factories and serverless and Spark and all these things. And it's actually kind of fun to get back to the roots. So I don't know. Give me a little more time, Evan, to talk about the last part of this. But I don't think it's geared towards engineers and scientists. Data engineers. I don't think it's really geared toward that, especially with Synapse Studio. In the notebooks, it makes it so easy for anyone to do things like this. But give me a little more time. Give me maybe to the end of the summer and re-ask that question.
I will say though that log analytics, like Kusto querying and stuff like it's very heavily. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with that. So I don't know what Splunk's capabilities are, but I have seen like Kusto, and I can tell you just from a telemetry perspective and ways to query that, it's fast. It's very capable, and you can do some crazy things with it.
So fast. And the KQL is not that difficult. It's not that difficult. It's really not. But we'll get into that. Stay tuned. We'll get into all that wonderful stuff on Data Tuesdays.
Cool. All right. Cool. So I did see Matthew's comment about answering Bernat's question. I think I'm just going to pull that one because I did see it come across, and I believe it's this one. There were actually 2 in the queue, actually 3 in the queue from Bernat. But I'm pretty sure it was this one. Will you two also move to the Synapse team? Where are you going, Patrick?
I'm not moving to the Synapse team.
Oh, sorry. Patrick was moving to the Synapse team, right as he was moving. No, we're not moving. No. Power BI. Now, I will say that Power BI connects to a lot of things, right? And so data is a big thing for Power BI. Go figure. And so we're going to, and Patrick's in my background, like we've done a lot with SQL. We've done a lot with just data in general, and working with reporting and analytics, and all that stuff ties together. So it's just a natural thing. Natural thing.
It's going to be fun. This will be fun.
Yeah. All right. I don't know if that met your needs there, Matthew, or your expectations.
So just say it's going to be a journey. Just say all this Synapse, and
we're bringing everyone along for the journey. We're all in this together.
Yeah. And so, the videos are going to go like this. You're going to be like, what is that video? Then you're going to go, oh, that's a great video. So just take the journey with us.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous about this.
He has said that, I think, like 200 times to me this week. Like, he's so nervous.
Oh, I'm so nervous about this.
Yeah. It's fine. I like the video was great. I thought the video was cool. The first one.
Yeah, but the one next week, it just doesn't. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. MJ. Data flows and custom connectors, are they a thing? Connectors doesn't appear to be in the GUI. mcopy from desktop returns an error at source step. There was a second part, but I don't have the second part in the queue. That's okay. I know Matthew responded to this in the queue also, and we were looking beforehand too, and it's not supported today. So apologies for that. So the answer is no. It's not even an it depends. It's a no. So sorry. Maybe at some point that'll be an option that's available, but today it's not. So, all right. John Smith. Can you do a follow-up to the cloud file not sharing video on how to change one of your Power BI data sources that is currently connected to the on-premises database via ODBC to Excel file on OneDrive? Wait. So Power BI data source that's currently connected using the... Okay, so I did the video about, hey, your Excel file's in the cloud. And why is it when you publish it, it's just saying like it's failing to refresh, and it should be, and it's telling you got to go through a gateway, and that's because of the file path.
Great video.
Piece.
Great video.
So I think,
Great
John,
video.
what you're
Great
asking
video.
for is do a video on how to change it. I actually did change it in the video. I don't know if you
But
watched.
I think he's saying, can you do it? Can you show how to do it with an on-premises database with ODBC?
Well,
I think you got to take the Excel part out.
No.
I think you got to maybe take.
No. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean by that, because I showed how to change it from going to the on-prem gateway up into the cloud with the source. I mean, it uses, I don't know. Maybe I need more info. I'm gonna pull a Johnny 5 here. Need more input. Need input. All right.
I agree, Paul. Those are two quite different things. Yes, those are two quite different things.
When I saw Paul's comment on there, I was thinking back on Melissa's comment about like she loves watching our expressions when we're thinking, and those are two quite different things. So all good. All right, Van Lessing. In Power Query, I create dim tables and often use remove empty and remove duplicates. Can this be done in one step? If not, what is the best step sequence? I searched Ging. I think he meant Bing. Yes, Patrick.
I don't think you should do this in Power Query. I don't think you should do this. If you have a dimension table, no, really. And I'm really passionate about these things. And so if you have a dimension table, this means you have a data warehouse. That means someone is building an ETL process to write the data into that dimension table. And I'm making these assumptions. These are assumptions that I'm making. And so if that is the case, you need to go talk to whoever is building that ETL process and say, hey, I'm having, every time I connect, I got to remove some duplicates. I got to remove empty values. Why? So I think the requirements for loading that data warehouse needs to be better than you doing the cleanup, because the data warehouse is the source of truth at this point. And so if you have duplicates in that dimension table, that's probably because they're tracking history. That's my guess. Do you really want to remove it or accommodate this in your data model to make sure that your reporting is correct? And if there's empty values, why are there empty values there? Is there a reason that those empty values are there? So I don't think you can do it one step in Power Query either. Alex, I don't know if Alex is in the chat.
He is in
I don't
the
think
chat.
you can do those in one step. Yeah,
you
there he is. I see him now.
invoked
So-
Alex with the word Power Query.
Yeah. And so Sheila, very good point. And so something I didn't even think about, maybe he's creating the dim in Power Query. Oh, whoa, boy, mine really blown now. Maybe he doesn't have a data warehouse. Maybe he's creating the dim in Power Query. Mine is blown. If that is the case, then we'll let Alex tell you probably can't do that in one step. But anyway, so then everything I said before that, completely ignored.
So going back to his question though about the remove empty, remove duplicates. I guess if you're creating the dim table in Power Query, that's why you would run into that. To your point, Patrick, if you're having to remove empties and duplicates on a dimension table in a data warehouse, your data's bad. I would think.
You got some bad juju. There's some bad juju going on with your data warehouse.
Yeah.
I do not like it.
So can you use remove empty and remove duplicates on the same step? Technically, those are going to, by default, if you use the UI, it's going to be different steps.
Well, that's what he's saying. Can you make it one?
Well, and you could if you go into the advanced M and you could, call one within the other, or like, you know, do things there potentially.
Oh,
I would
yeah,
think
you can nest
right?
it. You could probably nest it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's like in terms of what's better to do. I'd have to look at, you know, operations, look at the diagnostics, and then see. Yeah, I would
no
want to compare
data
the
warehouse. Only one. Oh, look. No data warehouse. Only one flat text file with
400 columns.
So who said it? I forgot her name. She said it. Oh, he's doing it in Power Query.
Yeah.
She read.
That was
She knew
Sheila.
what she was talking about.
Sheila said that. Yeah.
Sheila, good. Bravo, Sheila. Patrick's all obsessed with his data warehouse.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Bravo.
Yeah. So
great job.
My ultimate thing, though, in terms of what's the best. So if it were me, I would go through, look at the diagnostics, and look at the timing on that. So it depends on your data. Right? And what you're doing and what the other transformations are and what the source is. And so you need to look at those numbers to compare on your end. So that's what I would do.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a clear way. I personally, my assumption is I don't know that you're going to see any difference. So
because it's still going to run.
Yeah.
It's still going to run.
Yeah.
It's got to do that one, then do that one. So I don't know the difference between putting them in one step.
Yeah. And with a flat file, like I don't think it's going to fold anything anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right. Igor.
Great sheet. Great point.
I use PowerShell to get the refresh history. And every time I run the script, I need to log in. How can I provide login info in advance to avoid the login window? Do you have a video on that? I think I do. I don't remember what it is.
That's all Adam.
Don't remember what it is. However, let me go. I'm pulling up. Hold, please. There is I'm going to drop a link in the chat to the PowerShell. So in that, let me go to my desktop and I'll walk through it.
Is there a switch or something?
There is.
Nice.
So when you do the connect from a Power BI PowerShell commandlets perspective, you can actually supply the credentials as part of that. Now, you want to be really careful about this. So like, let's say you're using a service principal, like you've got to store those credentials at some point. So where are you storing those? So hopefully you're not just hard coding like a username and password and or the service principal and secret as part of your PowerShell script. That's not recommended from a security best practice. So, but you could do things like hold that inside of Azure Key Vault and then reference that to supply the credentials. There's different ways to go about doing that. But you can absolutely supply the credentials. So this could either be username and password, or it could be a service principal. Now, the other challenge there, you didn't mention it, so it sounds like it works in general. But if you're using like multi-factor authentication, that won't work from passing it in, because you need user interaction to do that. So that's where a service principal comes into play and could possibly help you out. So. But you can pass those credentials. It's just a regular credential piece. And I think if you look down, so here it gives you an example of like how to use a service principal, call the credential, use it calling get credential. But you can pass those in if you have them. You can build out the credential object and do that. So
nice.
Cool.
Okay, before you go to the next question.
I think I have a video on that, though, or at least where I do it in a video, and I don't remember, though. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
What's that?
Before you go to the next question.
Okay.
There was a whole bunch of questions about facts, comments about facts and dimensions earlier, a long time ago. Just comments. I was watching them scroll through the chat. Just trust me on it. When I was going on my rant about, all these things, and people were talking about surrogate keys and alternate keys, would you guys be interested in videos on those topics? Curious. Just curious. I'm just curious if you would be interested on the topic. Yeah. I'm just curious. So.
Well, of course they're going to
just
say
basics.
Yes. Chat's going to say yes.
Just data warehousing.
I'm going to call
just
that.
Data warehouse.
Chat's going to say yes.
Just data warehouse 101. Just data warehousing 101. Remember, it's Data Tuesday. It's just Data Tuesday. So we can talk about these things now. Right?
Because we couldn't talk about them before with Power BI?
I have a platform now. I got a platform to do these things. So
Oh, look at
I
you.
got a whole platform.
Okay. All right. Woo. All right.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
All right.
Wonderful.
I don't know how to say this name. I'm sorry. Thoughts on about the new DP500 certification? I'm gonna pass this off to chat. What are your thoughts about the DP500? Patrick and I have not gone through it. So we have. So I will say at least I have exposure into like the learn content and stuff that they're doing around that, and I think it's great. It's definitely something from the learn content and the certification. It's something that you can go do to push yourself. So, what are you laughing at?
Somebody said somebody gave Patrick a platform.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Chat's coming. Yeah. Alex says it looks intense. Looking forward to learning Synapse.
Yeah. Oh, it's intense, man. It's gonna be fun.
What else? Anyone else? Yeah, it's out. Yeah. Yeah, Chris sharing the link for Matthew's thoughts on certifications in general. So that's good. It's not specific about DP500 though. Look at that. Jason in the chat. You made it. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah. I don't see any other. Yeah. So I would say in general, check it out. Check out the learn content associated with it. It's always great to just, push yourself on those items. So, but we have not.
There's always questions about these. There's always questions about these certifications. There's lots of questions about certification. Yeah. We should find somebody to come talk about certifications one day. Look at it.
Yeah.
We should find somebody to come talk about certifications one day.
Yeah. Or we could, I'm thinking Miss Shannon. We should have Miss Shannon on and she can talk about some of the
Look, people are already saying it. They're already saying it.
All right. Hey, we're all on the same page. All right.
Yeah, we'll have to do something.
All right. All right. Keshav coming in with a question. How do you import report performance? How do you improve report performance when using direct query to SQL database? That is what we talk about. It depends.
It does. It depends on so many things. But first, can I ask you, Keshav, can I ask you one question? Do you need real-time access to that data when you do reporting? That's the first thing. Right? There's so many things, and people are starting to post them: hybrid tables, aggregations, reduce query reduction, edit interactions. There's a million things. Matthew posted a doc. I'm probably to the direct query best practices. So there's a million things, but I always go back to my report consumers, and the first thing I ask them is, do you need real-time access to this data? And 9 times out of 10, what do they say, Adam?
No. Well, I will say also, when you say, do you need real-time access, define real-time.
Oh, that's even better. Better. Right?
Yeah, like what's the data latency that you need there, and why? And there are some valid scenarios where I'm like, you need direct query. Like that's not like you're borderline like real-time streaming data, like for like devices or telemetry from certain things, and then there's other situations around that where different strategies that can be employed. It's the other thing to realize though is that when you're going direct query, you're beholden to the data source's performance. So make sure you're following best practices on the data source too. It's not just Power BI; it's the data source. For SQL, make sure indexes are in place. Make sure you've updated statistics. Like, what does the execution plans look like? All those things.
Yes.
People forget about that stuff.
If you're using Synapse, watch out for the shuffle. Watch out for the shuffle. Right? You don't want the shuffle to happen. So it's so many things, and we joke and kid about it, but it was posted back.
There's a TikTok that you should do for like the data shuffle. Like you could do a little dance.
The data shuffle.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a feature that came out recently. It's in preview right now called hybrid tables. Really. And that's exactly the place that I would start, because if you think about how the data is in that fact table that you're trying to query, try to have a negotiation with your report consumers. And Adam and I used to do this little skit when we presented about direct query about a car dealership, negotiating at the car dealership.
Yes.
But, figure out what part of the data they need in real time, because you can take your table and break it into different storage modes. And so you can say, hey, I just need this part in direct query and this part, and I can cache it up. Maybe that's the first place you start. I know we're kind of saying it sounds like we're saying don't do direct query, but there's definitely some places where you have to do direct query, but there's patterns that you can take in your model, like hybrid tables, like aggregations and things like that, composite models, to help improve your performance. Okay.
By the way,
definitely go look at the source.
So Bob Eater said channel Mr. Ozar. So Brent Ozar's YouTube channel, he does a lot of great content. He does a lot of Q&As on SQL performance. So definitely go check out his stuff. He's got amazing content. And then Matthew, he accidentally put Kevin Arnold in a timeout. That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Kevin. It was a mistake. It was an accident. You're still loved.
Oh, that's why everybody's saying free Kevin.
Yeah.
Free Kevin. Poor Kevin. Oh, okay. Oh,
that's hilarious. Well, maybe I need to put the chat in slow mo.
With great power. With great power.
Oh my gosh! All right, let's try and get another one in here. We're bumping up against the clock. So Armando, I have an imported table connected to calendar. I have an imported table connected to a calendar table, and previous month does not seem to work. Power BI desktop September 2021. Is it a bug? Could you please update Power BI desktop? That's an old version of desktop. That's a really old version.
It's not that old.
But I don't know
it's
that.
Not that old.
So I'm assuming your time intelligence functions are just not working in general. Have you set the calendar? Have you marked it as a date table?
Ooh.
So going over here.
Oh, we headed to your laptop.
Yeah, we did. Did you not notice?
Nobody said that.
Did you not
Yeah,
notice?
nobody said it.
So on your
I see.
calendar table, there's this whole mark as date table option. So make sure you're doing this. That's a step that a lot of people forget when they're setting up a calendar table. So even if you've got the relationships in place, you've got to do this step to get the time intelligence stuff to do what you want.
You know what's great? You know what's great about that step? It validates your date, and it makes sure you have a list of complete, distinct dates in there, because a lot of those time intelligence functions, they need a distinct full list of dates, and if you don't have that, they won't work. So that's what's really great about it.
Tom said, what happens if you don't mark it as a date table? Well, the time intelligence functions don't work. that's one of the things. So yeah, just make sure you're doing that. All right, we are at the halfway mark. Chatmaster C has cleared the queue. Members, get your questions in. So apologies for everyone that we didn't get to. There were still a bunch of questions in the queue. We never get to all of them. It's always so much. So please come back next time.
Poor Kevin's back.
Oh, Kevin Arnold's back. Whew. Ooh, yes. Oh, he was contemplating on the it depends structure. That's what he was doing. So. It's so funny, man. That cracks me up.
Okay.
All right. So members, get your question in. If you are not a member and you want to learn more, go again. You can check out the join button, or you can check out the link I just put in the chat to learn more. Not required, but just something to be aware of. As we go into member-only chat, only members and moderators will be able to participate in the chat. Everyone else can still watch the stream and watch the chat and learn great things, but you won't be able to directly participate in the chat if you're not a member or moderator. Also, super chats always take priority, so if we didn't get to your question, you gotta have an answer. Super chat's a way to jump the queue. Just remember to type your question in when you do that. So, also Robert, thank you for becoming a member. You upgraded to a visitor. Thank you. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's cut over to member only. You're right there, Patrick.
Ah, man, the allergies are.
Yes.
It's all right. I got it. No worries. It's just a little sniffing and sneezing.
That's
if
it.
you can tolerate it, I can tolerate it.
You also have a mute button too, so just be aware of that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
This jar is sitting in front of
you have this awesome device that I have provided for you.
Yeah, it's two of them. I actually have two of them now.
I know. All right. So one of the benefits of being a member for the visitor and producer tiers is that you can pre-submit questions, and we do have some pre-submitted questions today. Are you ready, Patrick?
Oh,
first one's all you. This first one's all you. All right. Coming in from Michael. Looking to display the top 8 categories on a visual by count. Then I want to group all categories outside the top 8 into an other category. All right, that's straightforward. On top of that, I'd like to dynamically recalculate and sort the top 8 as a user interacts with other visualizations. So dynamically, making it change.
Yeah.
When a user selects region or state, etc., the categories adapt and get bucketed into other based on the above. I started using a calculated table, but that seems to be more static. Go, Patrick.
I'm going to tell you the truth. When I read that, I was like, okay, I'm going to start writing some DAX. And then my brain said, wait a minute. I watched the 36-minute video from Alberto on this, and this is not trivial at all. He actually has 2, and he updated it to accommodate the dynamic part of this. And so I'm going to be honest with you, man. I did not go through and try to build this out, but I watched that video and I was like, you should go watch this video because there's some things. Can you go to my screen, head to my laptop?
Okay. Can you drop the link for it in the chat?
Yes, I absolutely will. Here we go. Oh, I can't.
Why can't you?
I don't know. It's not letting me. Can't do anything in the chat.
Put it in Teams.
There we go.
I'll
There we
drop
go.
it.
There we go.
All right. Patrick, learning how to use YouTube.
I'm not really good at those things, the socials.
Oh,
there it goes. Let's see. Just put it. Oh, there it goes. It did it. So, and so in this blog post, not only does he talk about creating the other, but the second part of your question about making it dynamic, regardless of which slicer, which attribute from any dimension that you select, it works. And so I started walking through this. I'm going to be honest with you. And the reason I asked Adam to bring this up is I start walking through this and I was like, it's not too bad, right? Do the rank and show the others. I'm like, okay, I got all this. But then when you get down here, and I'm like, he's going into is in scope and things like that. And with this small amount of time, I won't have time to explain all this. But I will say this, since you're a member, go through this, read it. If you have some questions, email me back. And if you get stuck, I'm happy to work with you through this. If you get stuck on any of this. But if you look at the final DAX statement, I think it was like 50 odd something lines to make it work. And this little amount of time that we have is not enough for me to share, go through it with you. But check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. So This is your answer, though. This is your answer.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Next pre-submitted question from Julian. I have a question regarding doing incremental refreshes from an API data source. It's created a 1 gig Power BI desktop file. And whenever I try to update it and update the schema, it takes forever. Also, Patrick, reading this, something else just dawned on me about this as well. How can I set up an incremental refresh? I did apply the range start, range end filters on the query. I did this with another Power BI desktop file, and that was pulling from our SQL server, and that worked great. All right, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, you gotta make sure it folds. You gotta make whatever query is coming from that API is folding back to the source, so then incremental refresh will kick in. If it doesn't, then incremental refresh won't work.
Yeah, and the challenge with APIs is depending on the API. Like I know some of the OData stuff will fold, but APIs in general, I don't know. It sounds based on the way you described it, it's not folding. Now the other thing that keyed off to me to tell me that it's not folding well, potentially it's not folding. Is you said that in the Power BI desktop file, the Power BI desktop file grew to about 1 gig in size. And so either the range start range end that you applied the filter on is not actually reducing a range that's like, maybe you just got a lot of data there and it's like that range is just still really big. Or it's not folding and it's just pulling everything back and ignoring the range start range end. So, which is more likely the reason. And especially when you said this worked with SQL Server. So yeah, data will fold with SQL Server. It doesn't, it's probably not doing that for the API that you're trying to use. So that's the thing that you got to be aware of on that.
Alex put I forgot about this. Alex put a link to Gilbert Q's formula site where he shows how you can incrementally refresh any Power BI data source. It's some M trickery in here, but I would definitely, he put it in the chat already. I would go take a look at it because you create this function and it may help.
Well, and I did a video too on like data flows performance where I was using, so the ODBC driver, like for what I was doing by default doesn't do folding. And I actually showed how you can actually implement incremental refresh with doing that. It used native queries to do it, so I'm actually custom crafting. So I'm kind of doing the filter on my own, but I hijack the range start, range end. And so those are all possibilities that you can do from a more advanced perspective to try and get it to work. But yeah. All right. And the last pre-submitted question from Tony. We are implementing Power BI embedded for our clients. So this is absolutely a Patrick question. They have a requirement that they wanted to use the usage metrics that you get for non-embedded scenarios. So a couple of questions. Can you use log analytics to monitor Power BI embedded via AppOwn's data? And the second question is Microsoft claims you can't use usage metrics report on AppOwn's data embedded reports. Is that because it all shows as the same user, or does the data literally not show up in the usage metrics report for embedded? All right, two things here. The first one, can you use log analytics to monitor Power BI embedded? Log analytics actually has nothing to do with Power BI embedded. The log analytics integration is all about the data set tracing. So think of profiler trace, but we're storing that to log analytics. It has to do with the data set. So it doesn't matter if you've embedded it or not. It's what queries are hitting that data set. So log analytics will work on the data set regardless of how the queries are coming in. That's not a problem. For the second part, my question here is when you say Microsoft claims, who did that? Like who actually made that claim? I'm curious. So because there's a couple things with that. I'm wondering if it was maybe like a community forum that you saw, or maybe you called support and support said that. From a documentation perspective, it actually says it does. So let's jump over to my machine and I'll show you. So first off, I did actually do this early this morning, but the problem is it only refreshes every day, so it wasn't showing. I couldn't get it to show up. So like if I go here, it's not showing here. But pay attention to this platform area. This platform piece here. So right now it shows powerbi.com. There's actually an option here that shows Power BI embedded. And if you go to the documentation, and here, I'll put the documentation in the chat for usage metrics. If you look at the platform slicer, look at that, Power BI embedded. And if you actually look at it's a little hard to see, but I know because I've seen it before. If the actual image, it actually shows that as one of the slices there. I will say, so I haven't actually used the usage metrics in a while. I will say that it used to show up. In terms of if it's doing it now, I don't know, maybe something changed. But it used to show up, and the documentation still illustrates that it should show up. So I don't know who at Microsoft actually said it doesn't, or where you saw that. Now, the other thing I'll do is, Tony, I'll follow up with you directly either tomorrow or Monday. So I want to let it go a day or so and see if it actually picks it up on my end. So, but I did AppOwn's data, and we'll see after 24 hours if it does show up, and I'll let you know what I find. So it'll be interesting if it stopped working. So cool. All right. So So David commented that the activity API will show up. So the activity API is different. That's the audit log. That's not the usage metric. So those are two different things and two different telemetry points. So yes, audit log will show up for embedded items. And you won't see the individual user because they're in an app owns data scenario. There is no end user, or at least we don't know about the end user. It's going through a proxy of sorts. So either an actual embedded an account that you specified or a service principal, and that's how it'll show up from a service perspective. So cool. All right. Yes, Melissa, I've seen that too. So the difference between the activity log, which is the audit log, the log analytics piece, which is the AS trace information, so that's the query information from DAX to the engine, and then also the usage metrics. So those are three different things. They're not the same. So, yep. All right. Anything to add to that, Patrick?
Oh, that was exciting. That was exciting. That was exciting conversation.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Here comes your question from Andy, Patrick. Here it comes.
Yeah, that's a good question.
In ADF, which is Azure Data Factory, is it best practice to create separate data sets for each table CSV Parquet file I use, or create one data set for each source and use parameters? Should I have 50 data sets or 2,000? Well, wait a second.
Whoa, that's a great question. So if you use SQL Server integration services, I got it. I got this.
No. But I have a clarifying question because this confuses me.
Yeah.
He's using the term data sets.
Yeah, that's a term. That's a data factory data set. That's a.
Okay,
that's
so
a,
it's not a Power
don't
BI
think about
data
it like
set.
a Power. Yeah. No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Melissa says auditing is not. Patrick is so wrong. So it's a different term. It's a different term. They use it a different way. Okay. And so I just go all the way back to SSIS or any ETL process, Andy. I think you're doing some ETL here to pull some data into some central location. If you can make it dynamic and use parameters, it makes it reusable. So you don't have to recreate it over and over and over again. And it's not specific to the certain table, CSV, a Parquet file. In fact, if you stay tuned to Data Tuesdays, we just finished a blog post and we're going to show you how you can use the information schema in SQL, point it to a database, and it's just going to loop through all those tables and dump out Parquet files with different schemas from each table. And we only have one data set, and it's just dynamically changing with those parameters. So I'm going to say it depends, on what you're trying to do. But I thought I was serious when I said it was exciting. I thought Patrick was so serious. But I'm going to say it depends. It depends on what you're trying to do. But I say if you want to make it scalable and flexible, use parameters, especially with 50 to 2,000 connections. It's so easy. I set it up in 15 minutes the other day. So go and use your dynamic parameters to make it scalable and flexible. If you want to hard code things and create all of them manually, knock yourself out. So that's just Patrick's recommendation.
All right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I was excited about that.
I thought that was really exciting.
Yeah.
I kid. I love all things. I don't discriminate. It's all good. All right, Mark. My users log in and out on different accounts. Log in and out of different accounts. Okay. I've seen times in Chrome that report one can cross over and stay in account 2. My admin account does not show it was shared. Anything I can do to prevent this? So if they actually, I'm going to mute you, Patrick, because you're typing and that's loud in my ear. So in the case of, so Mark, I don't know. I'm thinking different things here. One is, did they actually log out and they waited for that whole process to happen, which should get rid of the stored credential in the browser, or it should invalidate that. Or did they just close the tab and think that that was logging out? And so those are things to, I don't know. I've not seen that specifically. So Mark said yes. Which one? I asked to, I don't know what the yes is in reference to. So they log out and in. That seems weird. And Patrick, you are free now, so there's a mute button on your GoXLR. Patrick.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Mark. That's not how I would. If they log out, that user shouldn't still be usable. It shouldn't be reflected. That's the whole point of logging out. So Chewy is saying Edge. Yeah, but it still uses Chromium. So it'd be interesting to see if Edge has a different behavior or if you can, yeah, Pod Beater, yes, Chrome is caching the credential. However, you did an explicit log out, which means that shouldn't work. It shouldn't behave that way. It'd be interesting to see if Edge does the same thing, or if it's specific to Chrome. I would also want to know, is that repeatable every time? If it is, I would honestly open a support ticket. That seems problematic to me on several different fronts. So I've not personally experienced that, and I switch accounts regularly, and I've never had that experience. So shout out to Quack Addict for becoming a member. Thank you so much. And then also Sumit, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Paw Beater says Chrome doesn't always follow the full log out. Well, that seems problematic also. Just putting my security hat on, that sounds like a problem. All right. I don't know if that helped you, Mark. Paw Beater. I regularly get the dreaded little eye on many of my visuals. The dreaded little eye.
Where it says, I think he's talking about where it says you can't, all the data. It's too much data.
Too much.
So it can't display.
Yeah,
I think.
What is the limit
that's
of data for things like this? For like line bar and column charts? I want to say it's 30,000 data points.
I think they increased it on one of them, though. Yeah, God, I didn't know that's what that question was about until you read it out loud.
Yeah, I want to say it's 30,000 data points is like the default or standard. I know that's what it is for custom visuals. But they do limit the number of data points. And so if you go above that, then you start getting that. So yeah, Chris is saying 10,000 data points. It's something, it's between there. And I think it may depend on the visual. So Patrick, it depends. He'll clue in on that. Oh yeah, he's waving the dollar. Look at you. You muted yourself. I'm so proud of you. That's great. Good job. Yes, Kevin. Yeah, the matrix will only allow 100 columns on a row. Yep. Oh yeah, sorry. Patrick, thank you for reminding me. He did this a while ago. He probably don't even remember, but Chris Wagner. Sorry, I didn't call it out when you did. I got so caught up in the questions. I got so excited. Thank you for the super chat earlier. That was very nice. Thank you. So, all right. I don't know. Did you find the reference?
Well, there's this thing called high density sampling for the scatter plot.
Yes.
But it that's not what I was thinking about. But you can turn on high density and it'll do some other things. But
so Dan, you're saying Deneb and it can aggregate data points before the presentation to the visual. That's cool. I'd like to know how I don't know specifically how it does that. Because of the custom visual APIs, if you're calling the data, you can only have that 30,000 data points. So it may be doing some trickery in there to get past that. But I do know that custom visuals have a 30,000 data point limit on it. So that would be interesting. So, okay. Hopefully that helps. Christian.
I hope so.
Two-parter. When not being able to create a view in the SQL table, so we don't have access to the source, What would be better from a performance standpoint? Get your dollar ready, Patrick. When extracting some columns as a dimension table, would it be one, connecting twice to the same table twice, relying on query folding, or two, staging the table, disable the load, and referencing the table twice, removing, keeping the respective columns on each table? I need to go back to the first part. What is this? Would it be better for when extracting some columns as a dimension table? Interesting. It depends.
What does it depend on? I need to know, because if I have access to a table, I can write a query. There's 50 columns on the table. Okay, there's 50 columns. I connect to that table, and maybe I'm missing it because I tend to think things are simpler than they are. There's a button that you can click called Choose Columns. I can uncheck and select the columns I want, and then I'm done.
So there's some things missing from this. So if I go back to part 2, there's some things missing. So because he's saying connecting to the same table twice and relying on query folding. So like, why are we connecting twice? Why are we referencing tables? Why are we doing that?
Do you need to join those two tables together? Or
That's what I'm like. Is there a merge or a append going on? Like what is, there's some more details here. And that's where it gets a little more complicated in terms of,
So I'm learning to think really.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You could also potentially do a native query. That's an option too, right? So in terms of what your options are, I go back to a comment I made earlier on in the stream of like, for some of these, what I would do is go enable the Power Query diagnostics in Power Query and go see what the timing is. And you can actually go validate for your data. And this is where the it depends comes in. Which one performs better and what's it actually doing? I would honestly say for both of those options, I would try to avoid both of those options altogether if you can. And so, but I'm missing something there as to why you're even doing that. It was a valid.
I'm with Kevin.
It was a valid. It depends.
Oh man, I'm with Kevin here. I'm with Kevin.
No. So the it depends comes in to look at the diagnostics and see which performs better for your data. How does it perform?
Okay. All right. Kevin was putting time out. I was putting time out.
I'm stretching.
You know, we're brothers of the timeout. We're brothers of the timeout here. So I'm trying to figure out why is this. It depends, but I'll give it to you.
There, I put Patrick in the timeout. He can't speak now. That's fine.
Okay.
No, I'm just, you're back. Well, and yeah. So Christian saying split the single table into a fact and dimension. Why would we just do individual queries on that?
Yeah, just write queries. Write a query for your dimension. Write a query for your fact. That's it.
Yeah. Move on.
That's it.
Yeah. But again.
Yeah, I get it, Chris. Chris is saying nobody will do ETL, but still write a native SQL.
Fine. Yeah, you can do it.
Write native SQL. Yeah.
I don't know why you would go through all those complicated extra steps, because the other thing I've like with referencing and all of that, like sometimes you can get weird behavior that can cause performance problems. So, but this is why I say do the diagnostics, look at the timing, see what works better. What are you laughing at?
Thank you, Chatmaster Steve. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, you're gonna have to do it twice. Papita, you're going to have to do it twice because it's two different things you're trying to load. I mean, I don't know how you would get around that.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Adam. He's got a great name. Using the web connector, I often run into the full page cookie splash window and thus cannot use the add table by example option.
I never tried this. I never tried
I've never
this.
encountered the full page cookie splash. I don't even know what that is. I can envision. I think I know what you're talking about, but
I guess it blocks the whole page, so you can't, because when you connect to it the first time,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
the
when you
whole
see it,
yeah, like except for cookies.
yeah, you
I don't know
can't
how you
see
get
it.
around
You
that.
can't see it. I don't know.
I haven't seen anyone talk about that. That is a good point.
It would be interesting to get that link that's given the full page on the cookie. We can find one. It'd be interesting to get the link.
Yeah,
Somewhere in the chat or
you can muck around with it. Alex, the accept cookies button. Yep, that can block potentially. Depending on how they implement it, it can actually be a splash screen on the whole thing that blocks the actual web page. If they do that from a web design, that's the page and it can't actually scrape it. Other sites, they just have it as a little thing underneath where it's not actually, you can still see the rest of the content.
If I visit it before I connect to it, will it pop up again on subsequent visits?
Yes. I want to say yes. I want to say yes. Because in the context of Power Query, you're not necessarily, from a session perspective, you don't necessarily have the cookie because the cookie is going to be for your user. And that's not what Power Query is going to be going through potentially. So we should try that to see what the behavior is, but I don't think that would work. My assumption is it would not work. Yeah. That, and Alex brings up a good point too about the browser and the browse contents. Maybe there is some option we could send from a header perspective or something to pre-select it, and that may depend per website too. I don't know. That's gonna be problematic. It won't let you click on it in the context of Power Query because it's not an interactive web page from that standpoint. That's problematic. Yes. I don't know. Adam, send us the link. We can toy around with it, but I don't know that there's a good option for that.
I'm just gonna send it to Alex.
That's a good point.
Send me the link. Yeah, send me the link. I'll send it to Alex.
Send it to a few people.
Yeah.
Alex, I'll solve it.
Alex solved it.
There you go. All right. Oh, wow. Look at the time. Let's get Brian's got a question in here. What's the best practice on how to manage column headers in a data flow that change due to change in the data source? Oh. Why are they changing in the data source? Ooh. I mean,
I bet you in Power Query, you can do it.
Well, yeah, but it's dynamically going to rebuild out the query.
See, I knew it because I think Alex and I talked about this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm trying to understand why the columns would change. I get that there could be some unstructured data or things that change, but depromote the headers and then hard code those bad boys. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So move them down.
Well, but if you hard code them, but they change. If they're hard coded and they change, you can't. That's not dynamic, right?
Yeah, but when you connect to it, you never see those. You bring them down. They're all column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4.
Yeah,
right?
sure. You can hard code. You can hard code the reference, but now does the order change? How do you know what the order is, and how do you know what you're doing with that? That's
okay.
Those are all things that could come into play. Alex, I know that. I'm trying to think about this from a dynamic perspective. How do you I don't know enough about the scenario to know what's changing and how it's changing. Do what?
It's all magic. It's all magic.
It depends.
Yeah, that's true. I'll take that one. I will take that one.
Yeah, so there are options from a Power Query to control those things from a header perspective and an ordinal position perspective. So play around with it.
Yeah.
Alex, we need more Power Query videos. Maybe. And Thomas is suggesting the Ruth Pozuelo may have a video over on the Kerbal channel on that. Maybe.
Yeah.
So
maybe.
All right. We did it, Patrick. Sorry, there were still a few more in the queue. We didn't get time to them. So apologies about that. Come back next time. We'll get them. Any words of wisdom, Patrick?
Don't go outside in pollen season.
Outside of pollen. Amen to that. Amen to that.
Stay in the house. Stay in the house, man. Stay in the house.
Pollen. All right, and then happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Tomorrow's Mother's Day.
To all the mothers. Yeah,
Mother's Day. Chatmaster C is going to have a glorious day tomorrow. We're going to see Doctor Strange 2 tomorrow. You went and saw it yesterday?
Yep. No comment.
So no comment yet. All right. Well, happy Mother's Day, everyone. And we will see you next week. Have a great week of working with your data. We'll see you.